that was the moment when I said, I'm gonna change everything today. Hello my lovelies, and welcome to a highly requested video, which is a video about law of attraction. I'm very excited to film this video because this is a topic that is most me. It's a topic that's going to be very personal and very honest, and I don't really know which direction it's going to go because I didn't really plan it ahead or rehearse it or something like that. I guess YouTubers really don't do that, do they? I don't know. I hope not, because otherwise I'm just very unprepared. But it's a topic that I'm very familiar with, so I'm not worried that I'm not going to know what to talk about. And on top of that, I did ask you guys to ask me some questions just to help me in the right direction. It is law of attraction, and it is a sort of rule of the universe, which means that whatever's in your heart that you wish has to go to your mind so you can imagine, and that way it can come here all around you. It's how to materialize and how to make anything that you want happen from here to here to here. So that it's that simple. It really is, and I strongly believe in it. It's all about power of positive mind, of good thoughts, and something that I couldn't even tell you how much and how strongly I believe in. I feel that, like, even in this industry or cruel world, because of my way of thinking, I have such a shield. And that shield sometimes actually quite annoys people because they notice that it can't really easily get to me, that their negativity or jealousy or kind of thinking, like ill thinking, cannot really get to me. So we all, not me, I'm not the only person that's had someone who's jealous of them in their life. You who are watching this right now, I know that in your life you had someone who's jealous of you, you had someone who didn't want you like the best for you, you have someone who tried to trick you, who tried to cheat on you, who tried to steal from you. Every single one of us, for sure. You can protect yourself, and that's what matters. But anyway, I'm straying off the topic. I discovered law of attraction when I was around 22. I discovered it as like something to study. However, I never really realized, but I always lived by the secret or by the law of the universe. Or law of attraction. I only realized when I started familiarizing myself with the topic, I only realized that, sorry I'm like leaning back on the pillow because my back kind of hurts. I only realized that I actually always practiced law of attraction when I read the book Secret, which I discovered when I was 22. I think I told this story before, but I'll just briefly touch a basis on it. I was 22 and that was the lowest point of my life, from 89 to 9. Even though when I was 3 we had to leave the country where I was born to go to another country because of war. My family fell apart. I lost a lot of friends, a lot of family members. And you know, even though people don't know that about me, or some people do, some people don't, it doesn't really, it matters, but at this point, like, I'm not someone who focuses on things like that. Still, when I was 22, that was the lowest point of my life. And that wasn't even that long ago. So what changed? Like, everything changed. Everything. When I think about my life then and when I think about my life now, I'm so grateful and so incredibly touched that I, with my mind, have managed to create the life I have now. And I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about general happiness, health, and just the way of thinking. When I was 22, I was finishing pre-reg. When you're a pharmacist, you kind of go through like 5 years of training in a way before you become a pharmacist. So after university, you do 1 year of working in pharmacy in a store with your kind of like pharmacist, like alongside a qualified pharmacist. So you work every single day for a year, and at the end of that year you do like a huge exam. It's a whole day exam. You sit in the morning, in the afternoon, like a whole day, and you are supposed to prove that you are ready to become a pharmacist. Like, I really studied hard for that exam. Anyway, I passed, so yeah. I actually never failed an exam in my life, and that is also thanks to law of attraction, for sure. But I'll also talk about that later. I wanted to tell you that why was my life so hard. I was in a pharmacy every single day from 8:30 till 7, working on my feet. There's not a single chair in the pharmacy, so you're actually standing whole day on your feet. I think I told this story before. Dealing with patients that are obviously ill, that are not happy and in great mood. They're usually complaining. People who are just, like having difficult time in their life. So there's a lot of negative energy because there's a lot of sadness, bitterness, anger that you have to deal with every single day. I'm someone who takes other people's energy, so if someone comes that's very angry and offloads it on me, I try to cheer them up, and I usually manage, but what happens is this, that I take their negative energy. So this was kind of making me very miserable. I was coming home, I was crying a lot, I was really sad, and on top of that I was broke because I had a salary which was not really that great, but by the time that I paid my bills, the tax, I was pretty much left with nothing. Let me just tell you, all that work, all that studying, all that training, and it was not really what I wanted. The one thing that I didn't want was to live off my parents or of my sister. So for me that was just really, I would feel like such burden. Like, I'm not saying that anybody is, but that's just the personal feeling that I would have. And it was bothering me a lot because I knew that at this point I was not able to afford the life that I want. I was not doing a job. Like, at least if I was, you know, I don't know, like a childminder, and I really love those kids, I'm not making a lot of money, but at least I'm doing a job I love. No, I was doing a job I hated, and on top of that I didn't have any money. And on top of that, I didn't have any social life because when I started Monday at 8:30 and I finished on Friday at 7 p.m., I was just so exhausted on Saturday and Sunday. I had really bad back pain, I had feet pain, like I would never wear normal clothes because I was always in a, not in a uniform, but pharmacists wear like kind of, you know, classic clothes, whatever, work clothes, and I just hated that as well. But I was good at it. I was actually good at my job. I was getting promoted all the time when I got qualified as a pharmacist and stuff like that, but I just didn't like it. And, you know, I was really unhappy. I was crying a lot, and I was like, okay, something needs to change. So my boyfriend at the time was telling me, why don't you read this book, Secret? I believe in it. It's all about being positive. You're always so sad, Tamara. You're always crying. You're angry at life. You don't enjoy life. He was telling me, like, you're beautiful. You're healthy. You need to be grateful. But I was like, of course, easy for you to say, because my boyfriend at the time, like, this healthy, handsome, really nice guy with a good heart that was really successful, with salary like I think 12 times bigger than mine, like he was doing so well, he was so successful. I was like, I'm so sorry, but like, this book is not gonna help. So, you know how misery always goes together with more misery. So on top of like being broke, working all the time, being unhappy, I also lost my boyfriend, which at the time was the biggest love of my life. So even though I broke up with him, it was like a very complicated story. My heart was broken and I was very sad. Something that I thought I would never overcome, but I guess miracles do happen. It did take me quite a long time to overcome, but from this perspective, all I feel towards this man is gratitude. And I will tell you why. When we broke up, and I was like, I just felt like there's nothing worse, like there's just nothing else that can happen to me, and that I can be like, okay, I mean, you know, what else can hit me? Like, I just don't know anymore. Like, I lost the man, the biggest love of my life, who I'm never gonna see again in my life. I have a job that I hate, and I'm broke. And then I took this book out of the drawer that he gave me, and the book was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and I talked about it before. I started reading it, but because I was at such a terrible place in my life, the book actually started making sense, and I didn't have any choice, but I had to try it, so there was nothing to lose. So I started visualizing all these things I wanted, but then I realized that I had been already visualizing for a very long time, that I already had magazine cutouts on my like door of my bedroom of all the beautiful designer things that I had dreamt of, but I could never like have. I mean, I had some stuff because I was saving for items, but it was not like abundance. I then saw that like everything that I really wanted like was on there. So I was already visualizing, I just didn't know how to actually attract it because I was constantly miserable, I was constantly crying, and I was not believing. My main thing was like, why me? Why is this my life? I was blaming others without actually realizing how grateful I should be that my parents were able to send me to England to study, without being able to realize how grateful I should be that we're healthy, how grateful I should be that I have my sister who's my best friend and the biggest support of my life. I mean, again, easy for me now to realize. But that was the moment when I said, I'm gonna change everything today. And I started by doing daily affirmations. What's very important thing to know in law of attraction is that you need to start little steps, because you need to change your whole thinking. And it's gonna take a while, but it's gonna be beautiful. Once you change your mind, your life will change as well. And that's what I think is very beautiful. So I started by saying 3 things I'm grateful for every day I wake up. So I would say, I'm grateful for having my sister, who's my best friend. I'm grateful that everyone in my family is healthy. And I'm grateful that today is not raining in England. You know, whatever. Those things you can say, but you really have to feel them. And because I have so much love inside of me, who knows me knows that, I would really feel that love when I say I'm grateful for my sister. Like, I actually feel it. Or when I would say I'm grateful that my family is healthy. I really feel it. Like, I'm so happy. Maybe I'm not that grateful for no rain that day, but then I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say something like, I'm so grateful that I passed this exam. Even if it's like something that happened 10 years ago, that still sparks a bit of emotion here. Like, you know, when you think of something that makes you happy, that's what you need to think about. That's how I started first. That was the first thing. And then I realized that sometimes it's a little bit harder. Something bad happens and it's a little bit harder to bring me back on this frequency. But I would start writing down how I felt when good things happened. So for example, when I passed my exam, I wrote this whole page in the diary. Sorry, I'm a bit shiny. I wrote a whole page in my diary about how it felt, like exact feeling. I said like, so I found out I was here, my heart was racing because I wasn't sure if I passed or not, but I was so excited, and that day I wore this and I went to shopping mall and I treated myself and I got a present and my mom called and my dad, and this is what they said, and the feeling that I felt was incredible. So even though I passed this exam 8 years ago, I still remember this feeling, and it's so liberating and so beautiful and amazing. And now here is the main tip on attracting good things. This is how it works. When you feel the happiness, that kind of feeling, and you say, I'm gonna apply for this job. You just see like a job, like kind of advert in a window of a shop, and you enter and you're in this good mood, in this great kind of happy mood, and you apply. Guaranteed you're gonna get it, because you're on such a vibration that creates only that kind of vibration. So you're sending signs to universe. This is who I am. I'm this happy vibration person. I need to stay on that vibration. But if you go and apply for a job feeling miserable, you will get the miserable thing. In December, I had to make a very important phone call, which was work related, but it was kind of a big deal. And I was like, it has to be a positive, good response. Like, it has to be a good response. It just has to be a good response. But I was like, how am I gonna make this happen? I wasn't sure. So I decided to think of one thing that just makes me feel so good. Something that gave me such an incredible happy feeling, like success feeling, like work success feeling, because I needed to be on that vibration. And I kind of was annoyed that day. Had like a lot of situations that made me angry, and I was like, in this state I cannot make this phone call. It's gonna get a negative result, because if I have this emotion, like angry, kind of miserable emotion when I call, that's the kind of emotion I'm gonna get, because universe only gives you what you give him or it. I thought about this incredible thing that happened to me, whatever it was. I don't even know what I thought about actually, but I thought about something amazing that happened to me and how I felt at that moment. Maybe when I saw my face on cover of Cosmopolitan or Grazia, that's kind of a feeling I had, and I was like, wow, this feeling makes me feel so fulfilled. And when I made a phone call, guess what? The results were absolutely positive. Same goes with the vlog that I did in January now, or December. So in December, Christina and I went to watch Aquaman. I did a vlog about it. And I said in that vlog, if we were talking about Jason Momoa, how hot he is, and we were saying, wow, he's from Hawaii. And at the end of that vlog, at some point I said, if we ever get invited on a trip with a brand, and they say, like, come, like, meet Jason Momoa, we will definitely do it, no matter what the conditions are. And we were in such a happy mood when we were saying that. If you watch that clip, you will actually see how happy we were and how the energy was just so high. The day that I'm like, yes, I'm taking this project for sure is the day when someone is like, oh, you go to LA to meet Jason, blah blah. Please post 100 Instagrams posts for free.
You bet your ass I will.
Can I take a +1? And I don't even think like it was 2 weeks later we got this email from Lemaire who was like, we want to bring you to Hawaii. And then we were in Hawaii, and guess who was there as well? Jason Momoa, because he's from Hawaii. Christina and I were like, this is crazy. Like, did we attract this because we said it and the universe was like, okay, hold my drink. Same thing happened to Christina. She was applying for a visa, we needed to travel, and there was, I think I told you this story before, there was absolutely no chance for her visa to make it on time, but we had to travel on like Monday, and the visa had to come by Friday, and there was no chance. But she told everyone, she almost was lying like to people who were asking her like, hey, do you want to come out on Monday? She'd be saying like, no, I can't, I'm traveling because my passport's coming back. And she was kind of telling people like in such a convinced, happy way that she convinced the universe that it has to bring her the passport. So the universe just made it happen. What happened that week was the lowest amount of applications for visa ever, so that Christina got hers. Can you believe that? Like, how it works. You have to ask for something, whether it's love, whether it's success, whether it's money, everything's fine, whether it's health. But when you ask for it, you can't be like, oh, universe, why don't I have more money? Why does she have more money? You know, like, why don't I have Chanel bag? I will never have a Chanel bag. If you think about things with a sad emotion, that's what's gonna happen. If you say things like, everybody always cheats on me, that's kind of gonna happen, because that's the message you're sending to universe, that you're a person that everybody cheats on, or that you're the person that's never gonna have a designer handbag. But if you close your eyes and you think about yourself wearing this Chanel bag, and then you like close your eyes and you imagine how your hand is opening the clasp and how the letter feels and how it smells, and when you open it, oh, there's your house key, and next to it is, I don't know, whatever that you carry in your bag, and it is your bag. And you keep imagining that when you're in a good mood, when you're in a high vibration, when you're in positive, high level, it's actually going to happen. It's literally how it works. But on top of that, it's not just about magic or about attracting stuff with your mind. It's about allowing yourself to dream, and about actually saying, why wouldn't I want to have my dream job, you know? Why wouldn't I, like, do this? So I'm very curious, and I'm gonna have to ask Nina, who works for me, and it's like the best match. Like, I'm so grateful for her. I kind of, I feel like we tell each other so often how grateful we are that we met each other. But I have to ask her in what kind of mental state was she when she sent me an email. She sent me an email about us working together, and I picked up on it. And even though I receive so many emails every day, like, her email just like really stuck out. It was an email and I read it and I was like, I need this girl, like, this girl is amazing. And I responded to her, but then I forgot to respond the second time. But somehow universe just connected us. Like, we started working together, and it was the best match ever. When she emailed me, I was in a great mood, and that also kind of helped us match. It helped me recognize that she was the right person, and I don't know, it was just like a really incredible story, for me at least. But when it comes to like things like university, okay, let me tell you about university. At this time, I didn't even know about law of attraction. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know that I'm actually already practicing it, but I was. So how I passed, like, I mean, okay guys, if you ask my sister, she will tell you that I didn't study at all during university, but that's not true. I studied really hard. I just studied also really smart, and I loved university. It was very stressful. It's not easy studying pharmacy, especially not in your second language, but I convinced myself how much I love it. So I was telling myself, every April I started convincing myself how much I love exam period. I love going to the library. I love staying in the library till 3 a.m. How amazing it is hanging out with my friends to study together. How much I love the silent zone and the quiet zone, and Our little group works like when we do kind of multiple choice questions and we keep asking each other in these little group sessions, and how much I love the notes and the colorful pencils. And I would just convince myself how much I love every single thing that has something to do with the exam period. I wouldn't say, oh my god, I love Dr. Sarkar's lectures. I mean, like, he was a great lecturer, but you know, I wouldn't try and like say I love a topic that I'm not a huge fan of. But I was really like highlighting things that I really, really love about the exam period. So every time that May would come, I would study so hard, because in my brain, I would convince myself that I love that. I love studying, so I would do it more. And I think this is the trick. The trick is to trick your mind. So you have to convince your mind how much you love doing something, and that when you love it, it will be great. Like, if you look at my career, I work mainly with brands like Fendi, Dior, Louis Vuitton, I'm like gonna forget so many brands, but Versace, YSL, Tom Ford, I'm gonna forget someone, so I'm not gonna keep naming every brand, but I work with like my childhood favorite brands, with the brands that my mom was wearing when I was like in high school or elementary school, and I would look at and think like, wow, this is such a beautiful brand. I work with brands that I only dreamt of, and that I was like, wow, I would love to have this bag, wow, I would love to have these shoes. But I truly love those brands, and it's not about my love for money at all. So I don't work with Louis Vuitton because I'm like, I want the money, I want them to pay, I want to be rich, I want to get 5 bags. It's not like that. It's about me thinking about how passionate I am about this brand, and that's why the universe gives it to me, because they're like, okay, you need to get that because you're not bitter about this. Like, whenever I see an influencer working with a brand that I really love, but the brand doesn't work with me, for example, I would never feel bitter about it, and that's why I would normally in the end get that brand. Every single brand that I now work with is a brand that in the past I would imagine working with, and I would imagine what it would look like, and I would imagine being there in that hotel with the brand, experiencing and getting to know it and touching it and feeling it. And like, when you do that, universe finds a way to bring it to you, and that's what I strongly believe. I feel like this video could be quite controversial, because sometimes people tell me like, universe is God and you're just praying to God, and you know what, this has nothing to do with religion. I'm not trying to change your opinion on who God is for you or what your religion is. It's nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with your beliefs. So this is just a way of positive thinking. This is just a way of feeling gratitude, and like, it's a little supplement, a little extra, in which will change your way of thinking, which will make you more positive and therefore happier. I think the worst thing you can think or feel is helpless, or feel that there's nothing you can choose in your life, or feel stuck, and that you can change with gratitude, and that's something that I really, really strongly believe in. I also long ago discovered this Croatian kind of YouTuber. I will leave her link in the description box below if you speak Croatian or Serbian or Bosnian or any language that you can understand. Ana Bučević, I spoke about her before as well, and I find her videos as well very inspirational. I also obviously read many, many books, like I said, The Secret, but then afterwards I read many more, and not just spiritual, but also books about focusing on the things that matter to you in life, like One Thing or Give and Take by Adam Grant. But it's more that you should give to people that give, and you should become a person that likes to give a lot to other people. Giving makes me very happy, and that's a huge part of Secret as well. Give and you will get even more back, which is why we work so hard to contribute to charities. I don't know if you guys know this, but all of my kind of unused things, and or like things that are too big, too small, or different shade or whatever, I sell, and we give the money to children in need. We give the money to children in any kind of difficult situation. At the moment, I'm also very proud. Well, I don't really talk about these things, so I don't know if I should talk about it, but I'm sponsoring as well someone in their academic kind of, how would you say this, in their academic achievements, and I'm like really enjoying giving, and I enjoy the feeling of giving. You know, when people say like, I enjoy more giving presents than receiving, but I really, really do. However, it's not about presents, it's more about giving and changing lives of people that are in need, but who really deserve it. Because I also receive, one thing that you should know, I receive many emails every day being like, can you please give me your clothes, can you please give me your designer bags. But please don't get me wrong, I really enjoy giving my clothes to people that don't have any clothes, you know. I enjoy giving them to people that really need them. I can't give someone that doesn't have anything to eat like a Gucci dress, because I feel that that's inappropriate. But if I sell that Gucci dress and I give them money, I think for them that's much more beneficial. I hope that makes sense. So that's what we do, and that's why I feel that the universe is giving back to me, because the universe is like, okay, you know, she is not selfish towards people who need, so the universe is not going to be selfish. And you don't have to give material stuff to anyone, but you can give your time, you can give a smile, you can give attention. There's so much you can give so that you can get back. Same thing goes with relationships. If you give love and if you invest love in friendships, in relationships, but real love, you know, you will definitely get back love if you learn to love things. There's so many things that I can speak about. One of them is like, you know, when you go to a desk of like a hotel or a shop or whatever, and the person's very rude, and you think in your head, oh, I hate you, you're so horrible, and it's just going worse and worse and worse. Try a little practice of the secret, and if someone's really rude to you, think in your head, she's probably having a really bad day, but she's like she has beautiful eyes, and actually, or beautiful nails, or she's really nice, or let me think just something nice about that person that's horrible to you, and try and see how when you're emitting, when you're giving good energy and good thoughts, even in your head towards that person, how the relationship is changing. I've like tested this so many times, and it's the same with relationships with people and friends and etc. If you have friends that you, or like acquaintances or whatever, or like brother's wife that you really dislike, and then every time that, I don't have brothers so no one's ever gonna think that this is personal, every time you're gossiping about her and you really dislike her and you think like, oh, she's so annoying and she does this wrong, so every time you see her, the relationship between you two is even worse because you really dislike her, and it's because you are kind of attracting like this negative energy between you guys. But if you do think, wow, she's so nice, I love this about her, and try and focus on positive things about her, even though they're very few, that will make you happier as a person, because you will not be poisoned by all of this negative energy. So I have some colleagues or like friends or family members that are like making loads more money than I am, but they're just so annoyed at me because they see that I'm actually so happy and happy at what I do, but that they are not, even though they might be doing better. But it's all in here. Every day when you wake up, say 3 things you're grateful for. Every night when you go to bed, say 3 things you're grateful for, and focus on positive things. Focus on that good feeling. Start writing. Every time you feel good, write it down, and then when you're feeling bad, reread and try and remember that emotion when you felt good. It will constantly keep you on good vibrations. It will constantly make you feel better. It will make you feel like anything is possible. Like I told you, I was supposed to leave England because like my documents were not, like, I haven't managed to like put everything in place and completely change the law, because in my head I knew something was gonna happen and that I was gonna stay in England, but I wasn't doing anything to fix my documents. So I was like, I'm gonna stay in England, and I just left it. You know, I just left it to the universe. I was like, I'm so positive about this. Universe is gonna deal with it. And the universe changed the law for me, so I'm living in this country now for 11 years. Can you believe that? Like, yeah, universe can change the laws. Like, same thing with Hermes Kelly Bag that I got. So I tried to buy it in Vienna in December, and I knew I was not gonna, in January, and I knew I was not gonna get it. Like, I was working in that Hermes store, and I told someone else, like, they're not gonna have it, but I'm just gonna ask. Of course, Tamara, they're not gonna have it, you loser. When you say they're not gonna have it, they're not gonna have it, because you told universe they don't have any bags for me. So yeah, you know that. But then I told everybody I'm gonna get it in Paris, because I you know, I know the system. I'm gonna get it in Paris, I'm gonna get it in Paris, I'm gonna get it in Paris. I convinced myself so much. So day 1 I got rejected, day 2 I got rejected, day 3 I got rejected, I think, but I left it. I wasn't thinking about it anymore, because I was like, No, like, you know, I'm not gonna be thinking, ah, why am I not getting it, getting very upset, like giving negative emotions and negative feelings. Every rejection I just ignored. I just deleted and reapplied immediately. So ignored, reapplied immediately in the morning. I set alarm and reapplied. Like, just ignore the rejection completely. And guess what? The moment I forgot about it, the moment I like told universe, I trust you, it's in your hands, I bought another bag, had that feeling of having the new bag, like being excited of getting a Louis Vuitton count bag, which is on a waiting list, and apparently like no one can get it. The woman decided to sell it to me. She gave me a feeling of getting something that's not accessible. I was so happy, I was so excited about these things. You guys know how much I love fashion. And then next thing you know, I got a text message from Hermes being like, looking forward to seeing you at the whatever boutique for your appointment with the handbag. And I got my first choice bag, the bag that I had on my vision board in green color since years, and I forgot about it. I didn't even know that it was on my vision board. Like, how crazy is that, that when I opened my old diary, there was a green, kind of vintage looking, but a green Kelly bag on a picture. I mean, with that, I will just leave you, you know? Because if you ask a 22-year-old Tamara, she will tell you that there's no way I'd be able to afford one of these bags myself with my own money. I will tell you, you know, maybe if I get married rich, or maybe if like something like this happens, but these kind of, like, it's never the way I was thinking, because I'm not married rich, or I'm not married, or whatever like that. I buy my own stuff, and I work for my own money, and I believe that I worked for it, but I also attracted positive life with my mind. So with that, I will leave you, I will love you, and I will wish you a lot of positive thoughts. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you soon. Bye guys.